Hello YouTube, I just wanted to take a quick second before the video start to remind you to apply to an ARG regional close to you. All you have to do is visit Dragon Ball Super-regionals.com and select the regional event you wish to attend. Remember, the first 200 players that register receive 2 Tournament Pack Volume 1, 2 Tournament Pack Volume 2, and an exclusive playmat. Also, don't forget, if you like what I do, you can support me on Patreon to unlock exclusive weekly content and user callers for my Discord channel. All Patreon backers are also automatically entered in my monthly giveaway. But don't worry, you can also enter the giveaway by using the code KitchenTableMeta at checkout when buying products from Popo's Kitchen. And on top of that, you also save 10% on your entire order. Thank you guys so much for the support and enjoy the video. All right, guys, how's it going? Welcome to the ARG Regional here at beautiful, sunny Orlando, Florida. Sorry, guys, for the little delay in the stream here. We actually, right before the match started, like literally seconds before the match started, someone tripped over the USB cord and it knocked the, it unplugged the gameplay camera and knocked the computer over, which crashed the entire computer. So, of course, you know, something has to always go wrong. That's just how it works. And so they're actually almost done with game 1. And as soon as they get done with game 1, I'm just going to pitch it over and we'll start from game 2 of their series. Now, we do have Mecha Frieza, so the new draft Frieza, versus Galactic Frieza. So it's the battle of the Friezas for the first round. So that's actually going to be pretty cool. I'm actually really excited to see how those two decks interact with each other because it's one of the first times we've seen like a Cold Bloodlust versus Cold Bloodlust deck. And those can be really, really fun to watch because, you know, it's kind of almost similar to the Cell Mirror match where it's almost like the first player that kind of goes all in or like tries to play something out can a lot of times get caught by the Cold Bloodlust. So it's a very strategic matchup and it's very, very fun to watch. So if you guys have any questions at all, I'll answer as many questions as I can before we get into the next round. I didn't want to keep you guys waiting while we waited. So if you guys have any questions or anything, just put at ARG Live in the channel and I will answer as many of them as I can before the round starts. And again, guys, I am so sorry for that delay. Like I said, I mean, it was just kind of dumb luck actually how it worked. But that's how it goes. You know, when you're live, things happen. All right, cap the logos. Good morning. How you guys doing? I hope you guys are having a great evening. KitchenTableMeta. Sup, Dusty? Sup, big boy? Sup, Jordan? How you doing, man? Hope it's going good for you back home in Pennsylvania. I know it's cold back there, man. Everybody's telling me it's been so cold. How many times does Bad Ring Laser get played for this matchup? Oh, I don't know. You know, that's the thing too. You know, that's a good question because that is a card that can definitely change the matchup, right? That's something that they have to play around because, you know, it can stop the Cold Bloodlust. So, but I've noticed a lot of Frieza decks not playing the Bad Ring Laser. They're kind of trying to cut the Bad Ring Laser to make their Cell matchup a little bit better. And so it's very, I think it's going to be more apparent game 2 and 3 when it comes in from the sideboard than it will be the first game, unfortunately. At ARG Live, anything new for the regionals and who are the bounties? There is some new stuff for the regionals that I'll get into. We do have the bounties. Unfortunately, just to make matters even worse for me, I suppose, I literally got internet maybe 6 minutes before the first round started. We had trouble, like the event center had some trouble with the modem. And so I was so busy I was working with the engineer to get internet working. And so they announced the bounties and I didn't write them down like I did last time, but I will get them for you guys and make sure I let you guys know who they are for sure. At ARG Live, predictions for top 16. That is, oh man, it's going to be tough because there's so many good decks. I think we'll see Cell in top 16. I think we'll see Ginyu in top 16. I really like Soul Striker Goku as well. I think that deck is very, very good because one of the weaknesses to Cell, guys, if you remember, is being able to play multiple threats a turn. It's why the Bobbity decks are really good against Cell, and it's why Soul Striker Goku is really good against Cell. And also, Goku is very good against the Cold Bloodlust decks as well. And so I imagine to see maybe 1 or 2 of those in there. And then I think we'll see some hand destruction decks as well. They're just too good not to at least one of them sneak into top 16. ARG Live, do you think there are any competitive Trunks builds? Yeah, I do. I think Amani's deck was very close to being super competitive. I just think that aggro has a tough time right now, and I think the best way to build Trunks right now is to use a lot of critical threats to try to win the game. That way you're getting up in card advantage, and then you can use your overwhelming card advantage to all in on your 7-drop Trunks to try to actually win the game. And so I think that's going to be the way we'll see Trunks move. But Trunks is also one of those decks, guys, that gets much better as new cards come out. At ARG Live, Dusty, are you going to Vegas? I'm not sure yet, guys, if I'm going to Vegas or not. I haven't had a chance to talk to Jim or anybody about that, so I'm not 100% sure yet. I would like to go to Vegas, but we'll see. You know, I'm not 100% sure. Yes, at ARG, the Spider-Verse, Soul Striker will top 8. I absolutely agree. Okay, all right, so Judge just told me that they're shuffling, so I want to get right into the action here and, you know, get into this. Guys, I'm so sorry again for missing game 1. That's just, like I said, just kind of unlucky. So we'll get into the sideboarding overlay here, which, of course, the gameplay camera just stopped working. Literally seconds. So we're going to fix that. Oh, actually, no, it's not. It's working. I just need to, I'll just go here. I'll go here. I'll fix that overlay in a second. You guys don't need to see me. You guys don't need to see my face. All right, so these guys are going to, we have Michael on the left playing yellow-green Galactic Frieza. Now, I love this deck. I think this deck is very good, very strong deck. I think we've seen Dashi play this a lot in the last ARG event. It's definitely very powerful. It plays a lot like the Soul Striker Goku deck, except it wants to essentially kill its own Frieza army cards to ready the energy. Now, the downside is that the energy ready isn't as consistent as Soul Striker. The upside being that you could ready any 2 energy, however, instead of having to ready 2 blue like Soul Striker Goku. And then his opponent on the right, red side, we have MacGyver playing yellow-blue Mecha Frieza. That's the draft Frieza, very good deck. I'm actually talking to the judge right now. We're going to see who won game 1. That's pretty important. As we figure out who did that. All right, so like I said, figuring out who won game 1 there, so we know. Also working off 1 monitor, guys, which is the first time I've done that for a long time. So we'll see. Looks like they're just getting mulligan. Like we talked a little bit about before, I think one of the big cards that will determine this matchup after the sideboard is going to be Bad Ring Laser. We talked a little bit about it in chat before this, but it's a great card to essentially, you know, turn off each other's cold bloodlust, because that's a big card in this matchup. And so each player is really scared to play out their threats. They don't want to get that tempo loss, and so it's very, very important that they wait for that cold bloodlust opportunity to do it. It's actually even better against Mecha Frieza because what will happen is a lot of times Mecha Frieza will tap out completely, so they'll use all their energy, and they'll rely on using their ability, so they'll use 1 life to play their cold bloodlust for free. And if you can bad ring that cold bloodlust, it could really make it an even better card, right? Because you stop their card plus you take the life. So it's almost like, you know, cold bloodlust, you know, or Bad Ring Laser turns into deal a damage and stop a counter. So that's even better. So that's a very important card for Michael's gameplay against Mecha Frieza, and I think that MacGyver just needs to be very aware of that moving into this round. Okay, so it looks like MacGyver took the first round. So the Mecha Frieza player took the first round. I will update those scores right now. And it looks like, guys, we are getting right into this game in a second. They're getting ready to mulligan. Actually, they're mulligan right now. So we see a TN in Michael's hands. We have a TN, a full power energy, and a the Frieza that searches top 3 for a galactic. For a Frieza army card. Very, very, very important card in this matchup. It's actually one of the best turn 1 plays. I'm not sure who's going first here, whether it be Michael or MacGyver. I'm guessing that Michael chose to go first. It's very good to do that in this matchup. I'm not sure, you know, exactly what Michael's game plan is here, but usually going first is where you want to be for these type of decks. It allows you to kind of, you know, be a turn ahead of your opponent, and that's very important when you can ready your energy. But we'll see. We'll see what he chooses to do for his first turn here. Because, you know, playing the Frieza out of his hand is a good play, but if you play it into the Frieza, he could Goldo, so he could play out Goldo and then actually take away that play. He could tap it and then kill it before you can use your ability. So we'll see what happens here. Michael's going to use the Avenging Frieza here to look at the top 3 and then pick one of his cards here after the shuffle here from MacGyver. Yeah, I like this play a lot because it kind of, you know, it makes it so he has another play next turn. So if this does get, you know, killed by the Frieza, then, you know, no big deal. We might actually even see him siphon even more by actually killing the Avenging Frieza here and then playing out the other Avenging Frieza to go get another card for the next turn. Just deck thinning, very important. But also, you know, Michael has to be careful here too because, you know, doing this doesn't really advance his board position. So I think it might have been a little better for him to just keep that Avenging Frieza out. If MacGyver wants to kill it, that's fine. Saves him an energy, you know, or saves him a life. I'm sorry. But we'll see what he does here. So it looks like he's gonna look at the top 3. Gets an Android 16. It looks like a apple there. Yep, gonna choose the apple. good turn 2 play. Apple's very strong, 15,000 attacker, can really pressure these opponents. Again, that's really what this Frieza deck wants to do to the Mecha Frieza. It's very important that he pressures the Frieza, because if you let him step back on life, he gets a lot more activations off his ability. Remember, the Mecha Frieza's ability is that they can take a life, put it into their hand, and then play an extra card out of their hand, reducing its cost by 1. If it reduces the cost to 0, they can actually play that card for free without actually even having to have the specified cost as well. So MacGyver's going to go with that powerful objection turn 1 play, looks like. It's like he's just trying to figure out what card he wants to put down, which is important. I like seeing the blue Frieza in the deck. I think that's such an underrated card right now, so I love seeing that card. We also have the combo Frieza coming down in energy, so that means he has a yellow up. Looks like he didn't have a second objection or anything like that to get even further ahead, so he's just going to go with that 1 yellow open. Like I talked about before, it's really important that he tries to keep 1 yellow open if he wants to use Cold Ballast, because he doesn't want to use it into a bad ring laser and then lose a life off of it. All right, so we have Michael using the Frieza's Army here, or Frieza's Call, I'm sorry, to search a Frieza's Army card out of the deck and put it into active mode. Card has to be 2 or less, by the way, so there's a lot of really good targets for this, depending on what Ginyu he's playing. He's just going to go get another Shu. Again, I like that play. Shu can put a lot, not Shu, yeah, is that Shu? Shu? I like that play. This guy's very strong. 15,000 attacker, like I said, can put a lot of pressure on Frieza. Plus, Frieza doesn't really have a way to deal with him. So, you know, he doesn't have to worry about Frieza attacking into that card and then, like, you know, killing it the next turn or anything like that. Unless he combos and gets cards out of his hand, which, again, Michael's okay with because that card cost him nothing. So, still 8 to 8 in the life totals. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. MacGyver's on 7. Here comes out the apple. I'm curious to see if Michael decides to attack here. I really do think he should. It looks like he's going to be attacking with that Frieza first, and MacGyver's just going to snap take that. Good 6. Very smart play by Michael. Again, you have to do that. You want to get as many cards out of your opponent's hand, out of the life as possible, so that way Frieza doesn't, again, get those free attacks. And again, MacGyver's just going to take that apple attack. Go to 5. 1 away from Awakening. Now, obviously, the downside of this play line for Michael is that you're going to awaken Frieza a lot. But even again, it's okay to do that. You just can't let him get so many free cards off of his ability. Because once he's down to 4 life, using that ability is a real cost. I mean, you know, taking 1 of your 4 life left is a big deal, and it can really make or break the game, especially when you're playing a more aggressive deck. It looks like MacGyver's just going to pass the turn. Doesn't have a turn 3 play. Doesn't have any 2-drops or anything to play, so he's passing the turn. If I'm Michael, I like to see that. That allows me to put a lot more pressure on my opponent. I can awaken him now. I would love to be able to play some double striker out here, which he's going to play out Tien and be able to awaken himself. I'm curious to see if Michael will decide to do that or just save Tien, you know, for later. But we'll see what MacGyver decides to do. If he has maybe Pressure Ball, Cold Bloodlust, he's going to use that life and goes to 4. Alrighty, we'll see what Michael decides to do here. He's going to attack with his leader. That lets me know that that Michael's probably not going to awaken with the Tien this turn. If he was going to, he would have done it before he attacked so he can get that draw off of it, which I think is the right move. I mean, he doesn't need to awaken right now, and it allows him to essentially use the Tien in order to clear the board out when needed. So, very smart play by Michael there, not overextending with Tien. It's not necessary right now. Oh, so he does have 2 Friezas. All right, so surprisingly, Michael's choosing not to clear those with Tien. Might have been okay to do that now, because now you can 2 for 2. You can use his ability twice, clear his board, and put him into a little a tough spot there. I think like what's going to happen now with MacGyver, with Michael, is he might actually lose both of his threats now to both of these Friezas. So he's attacking 15,000 into 15,000, Mecha Frieza into Su, and draw a card. And Michael's just going to let that die. And we have another Frieza into Apple, letting it die again. Very interesting line of play here by Michael. I really feel like the Tien play was very good. I feel like it was very, very good to do that. That way, because again, you can clear his board. You can protect your threats if needed. So, yeah, and again, Michael, it's really hard to play from behind the board with a Galactic Frieza deck because you want to try to play like 2 or 3 threats out, and that way you can always have one to cycle with your ability. So that was a very devastating turn for Michael right there. Very questionable play there. so we have an Avenging Frieza from MacGyver as well. Good combo piece, and then again, he can search out, look at his top 3 and get a combo card. Again, you can search out Dodora with this card, which is great. Makes it great for any deck that wants to go late game. All right, so what MacGyver's going to do. I mean, his board presence has really, really changed. And if you're Michael, I mean, again, I think you maybe should have expected that. So we'll see. All right, so pass over to Michael. He's going to go to 4 energy here. Looks like he has 2 green and a yellow up. And so if he plays 1 more yellow, he'll have essentially, double both, which usually turns on his whole deck. He also, it also looks like MacGyver did a great job playing around Mecha Frieza, the card here, too. He didn't want to attack with both of his threats, both of his Friezas. There was really no need to. Looks like he's on TN to kill one of the Friezas. Pitching a Goldo, which is a good pitch. I mean, that's like not the worst card to pitch. We'll see if he decides to do it again in order to kill the other Frieza. Another Vintage Frieza by Michael here. Look at the top 3 here, see what he gets. Looks like he whiffed. Whiff a Ruski there. Unfortunate. But he has got a lot of cards out of his deck, and so you're kind of expecting it. If he's going to whiff, it's going to be the 3rd Frieza's call he plays. But that's really not a good time for it to happen. He really needs to try to get a little bit ahead of the board here. He only has 3 cards in hand. One of them is a Dodora, though. So he can put a little bit of pressure on MacGyver here if he needs to. I would like to see him just TN right here, kill the other Frieza, and just go ahead and awaken. He needs to get some cards in hand. He needs to start working on some board presence, and I think it's okay to go ahead and take the life now. Let me update Michael's life here. He's actually had 6. Okay. So MacGyver kill his Avenging Frieza there to ready his energy. So now he's right back to 4. Again, a little bit of a questionable play by Michael. I think if he was going to do that, he should wait till after he awakens. And that way, if he draws another 1-drop, he can kill and ready both. I think that might have been a little bit better play for him. But again, I can't see his hand. He does have Avenging Frieza in hand, too. So that actually would have let him play 1 Avenging Frieza for free and then keep, like, Crusher Ball up or Cold Bola. So a little bit of a misstep by Michael again. I feel like he's a little rattled by by those double Friezas that got played last turn. Because literally, MacGyver went from having no board presence to 2 really big threats and wiped his board. So, big tempo swing there. All right, so Michael's back down to 4. Gonna fix that for you guys. I'm gonna be a little bit slower in life this time, guys. So I want to make sure I don't mess up any of the commentating. Last time I think I was a little bit worried on the commentating and I'm on the life, and I kind of missed some key moments in some of the matches I noticed. All right, so let's see. Got 2 ready here. Oh, sorry. Oh, I am so stupid, actually. I forgot he could use it on both sides. Holy crap. Here I am telling Michael he should have waited to play on the other side, and as it turns out, he actually made the awesome play of readying 1 on one side and 2 on the other side. Oh my gosh. It's so funny we don't see a leader played a lot that you make mistakes like that. I mean, obviously I know you can do that, right? I've seen that play multiple times with Trunks. I've seen it all the time with Cell. And it's just so funny. I see a new leader, you just completely forget, how the basics of the game is played. It's still early in the morning here in Orlando, though, guys, so that's not too bad of a mistake to make. Apologize, Michael. Can't believe I was criticizing your play, and you're the master all this time. All right. Seems like he's shifting the turn over to MacGyver. Then MacGyver looks like he is attacking with Mecha Frieza here. I think it's still Michael's turn. Yeah, that's what I thought. Mecha Frieza attack. He's going to take it and go to 3, guys. All right, so 3 to 4.
Have your attention, Dragon Ball
pretty rough start for Michael here. I mean, again, he has no more Frieza on board, or Frieza's army on board. But you know what? I can't see his hand right now, so I'm almost sure he has something. Maybe another Frieza's Call, a Veggie Frieza, maybe like an apple or 2. Because like essentially at this point in the game, those become free cards to play. So it's very good. Nice. The Cold Ball us to kill Beer. I mean, to stop the Beer's effect. So he keeps that Android 16 alive. Very powerful play. This card is 16 is very strong in this matchup. So he's going to block right here. Looks like no combos. He's going to go up to 25, which makes the 16 not die and readies him. Remember, whenever 16 kills a card, he readies. That also happens on offense and defense, guys. So very good attack. A very good block by Michael. Gives him a little bit of board presence now. And it gives puts him a wall up in the field, too, that MacGyver's going to have to battle through. 16 can be a very difficult card to get through. All right, so here's the Sue we're talking about, guys. Amazing card. Again, this card is technically free. So you can attack with this, put some pressure on Frieza, and then afterwards kill it to draw a card and ready 2 energy. So very, very good. But MacGyver's not going to have any of that. He's going to play his Sensu Bean and ready an energy. He now has 2, a blue and a yellow open. Also, this Meta Cooler energy is very interesting from MacGyver here. Let you guys know that some shenanigans could happen. He's ready 2 energy, draws his card. Looks like you got a counter card from that. Looks like you got full power energy from that. He does have another 16 in hand. That's all I could catch in that quick glimpse. Looks like he has another Cold Ballast to hand. That's another way he can keep his board up. Another 16 coming now. Now, Michael could decide to put some pressure, but it's like he's not going to. He's just going to keep those 2 blockers up there, give him some more time to build some board up, and pass the turn to MacGyver. MacGyver readying here with looks like 4 energy, 5 energy. I'm sorry, guys. Again, 3 to 4 here. Another energy coming down, another blue energy. Again, MacGyver looks like he has all this energy going in, attacking 15,000 into 15,000. Frieza into Frieza. This is a good attack again by MacGyver. This is really, you know, this is the only attack that's going to be difficult for Michael to deal with, because he can use his blockers to stop those from doing damage. But he's just going to use the 5,000 combo card here to not take a damage. Doesn't want to go to 2. And again, like I was trying to say before, this is a very bad attack to block with your 16s. You get no value out of them that way. All right, so he's just passing the turn straight back to Michael. Again, can't quite see his hand. Looks like he might have a Super Saiyan Gotenks in hand. No, yeah, he does. He has 1 Super Saiyan Gotenks in hand, which is terrific. Going to play that Gohan, promo Gohan, my boy, down his energy. Tapping 5 energy. Now, this is very ambitious play here. He's playing right into Cold Ballast. Looks like MacGyver's going to snap Cold Ballast this play. There's the Cold Ballast. But again, you know, sometimes the only way you can play around Cold Ballast is just to simply play into it. You got to get him out of the hand somehow. Well, but what Michael really wanted to do, though, is he wants to be able to play a Frieza's Army card down and then play out his Super Saiyan Gotenks. And that way, if it gets Cold Ballast, he can still ready energy, so he's not completely out the next turn. But anyway, so it looks like he did swing in with the 25,000. It's not double strike because it did get Cold Ballast, and MacGyver chose to take it, going to 3 life. So it's 3 to 3 now. These guys are tied up. Good game. This is such a close game. It's very interesting to see these different Frieza decks playing. It's so neat. I still haven't seen any bad ring lasers from either deck, so very interesting, especially from Michael. Alrighty. So it looks like Mecha Frieza attacking 15,000 into 25,000.
Once again, final fantasy players, your round 1 pairings have been posted.
See if MacGyver decides to actually kill this here, or he's just attacking for a free draw. Looks like he's actually going to try to kill it. He does have a Mecha Frieza in hand, so he could actually kill it without doing this at all. But he might be afraid of Cold Ballast, so he's just going this way. So you have 25 into 20 right now. Yeah, that was 25 into 20, right? I thought that was 25 into 20. Oh, I must have added that up wrong. I'm sorry, guys. It must have been another card I didn't see. Oh, there's a Cold Ballast we talked about with the Mecha Frieza. So that's great too, because Mecha Frieza's best turn is the first turn Mecha Frieza's played out. You play it out, it kills 2 cards, it gets dual attack and double strike, and it just has this. It's very, very good the first turn it's played. After that, it becomes a lot weaker, where Super Saiyan Gotenks, for example, is still very good after, you know, the next play. So, you know, as far as this Cold Ballast trade goes, I think Michael definitely did a good, definitely traded up, in that regard. So, for the fact that Gotenks stays on the board and got Cold Ballasted is much better than your Mecha Frieza getting Cold Ballasted. And here comes another Gohan. Love this card. Going to kill that Mecha Frieza. This board is getting out of hand for MacGyver. And that's that short sigh of, of frustration from MacGyver, it sounds like, can be very difficult to deal with here again. This board's very frustrating. He has 2 blockers that are going to kill 2 guys. He can't keep a threat on board every time he tries to. It just gets killed. Plus, he has a lot of threats. So MacGyver in a pretty tough spot here. He does have a cold Bolus in hand. But he had no yellow open to use it. And he didn't want to take a life for it. So, all right, going to use Envision Frieza to combo. Got 15,000 going into 15,000. Golden Frieza into Mecha Frieza. Drawing that card, getting a Golden. Another pretty good card. Good draw here, actually. It's good to stay alive, good to protect your 16s. Also just good to play out if you're worried about it. You can play it out just to stop a threat. So a lot of uses in this stage of the game here. It also has 2 Crusher Balls in hand. I think it's going to be a little hard for MacGyver to catch back up here. Plays out the Goldo. Looks like he's going to use it to just sack and get 2 energy. Good. Good play. That's very good since he has 2 Crusher Ball in hand as well. Looks like he's going to choose not to use the Frieza's call he just drew. Going to wait, make sure he has the 2 yellow energy up to be able to Crusher Ball any threats MacGyver might be able to play. And see if MacGyver can think of some way to get back into this game. He's on the ropes here. 15,000 into the Gohan. Trying to get that critical out of here. MacGyver trying to decide if he wants to protect this Gohan or just let it die. In this stage of the game, I think it's okay to just let it die. Essentially, he saved you a life. So he's killed a card, he's put pressure on your opponent, and he just saved you a life as well. So, I mean, to me, Gohan's did a good job. I'll high-five him right here, put him right in the drop zone. By Michael, but we'll see what he decides to do. No negation.
Final Fantasy players, welcome to the first ever Lognet Summer
He's going to choose to protect him with another 16.
We have 33 players today, which will be good for 6 rounds of
it's a good. I mean, it's a good play. It's okay to do, but the problem with doing this is you're playing into Mecha Frieza at this stage, and so essentially, if you just let it die, you still have that 16, and you're not going to die to Mecha Frieza, which we see come down right here. He has a Crusher Ball. He's going to Crusher Ball that Mecha Frieza. Again, very good to do. And he's going to kill both the Super Saiyan Gotenks and the Gohan, which is what MacGyver needed. He needed to get some board presence back, and he's done just that. I think he's passing the turn to Michael.
Players will be given 2 participation promos for entering today.
Let's see what Michael decides to do. He draws the Super Saiyan Gotenks, a fantastic draw, especially when his opponent has no yellow mana, or yellow energy, I'm sorry.
Also make sure that you have a max.
So either way, he's either going to resolve a Super Saiyan Gotenks here or get a life from his opponent.
Cards in your deck list.
So here it comes. See what his opponent tries to do. See if he decides whether or not it's worth taking a life for this cold Bloodlust. I can't see if he has one in hand. Looks like he's going to take the life and go to 1, guys.
Once you confirm your deck list, please pass them down towards the
Pass the turn. 1 to 3. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No problems. All right, so 25,000. Going to get a counter. Choosing looks like a yellow too already. Yep. Macro's playing this matchup very well. After a little bit of a misstep there on like turn 2, where I think he should have used Tien. Other than that, he's playing very good here. Going in 20,000 with Tien. Can Tien take this match? Nope. Didoy response to protect that. Tien was so excited there. He's like, finally, I get to do something after the Awaken. Passing the turn. So it looks like Michael does have a yellow energy open, which is very good going into this next turn. He can definitely, if MacGyver decides to play like a big threat down, he can just simply, Crusher Ball it. I can't see if he has a cold bonus in the hands. Looks like he doesn't.
Judges, please select
maybe he does actually.
For Final Fantasy.
Let's see what he decides to do here. I think he's trying to decide if he wants to use one of his blockers or not yet. And actually, he just took it. Took it, went to 2. That was sneaky.
Final Fantasy fans, welcome to round 1. You have 30 minutes. You may begin play.
Just that life. Thank you very much, by the way. Thank you. All right, have Michael come over, get his laptop. He let me use it to get everything set up when I was frantically trying to set everything up. Michael's such a great guy here at ARG, man. So, he's helped me so much both streams. Such a great guy. I mean, honestly, the whole ARG staff has just been absolutely terrific. They've done everything they can to help me out and get me here, getting this stuff set up today. I only had one day to set up this time instead of two, and so it was very rough. All right, so here we go. Looks like MacGyver's going to decide to play that big drop. Maybe the Meta Cooler we saw come down. There it is, Meta Cooler. Now we'll see if Michael decides to crush her, but he's going to read it first, which is pretty reasonable. This is a card we don't see often in the meta. You know, get played a whole lot. Very powerful card. It lets you essentially go through your discard pile, you know, and search out some Meta Coolers to put in play when it attacks. It can really put out a lot of cards as well. So here comes Frieza.
And your attention, Yu-Gi-Oh! Judges. Please take down your pairings for round 1.
Bad ring laser. There it is, guys. We talked about it. It is devastating in this matchup, but we can see that that's really what MacGyver needed there, man. It just really turned that turn around. Holy crap. What an awesome turn by MacGyver there. What a swing. All right, so we're going to see what's going to happen here. Michael's putting his energy down, see if he can respond. Has a 4-drop, maybe another Gohan. Mecha Frieza of his own here. Looks like he's going to kill this Mecha Frieza in general. This is going to be a huge threat coming down from MacGyver. I don't know if he can survive this this double striking 15,000 attacker. There's essentially 4 threats he has to survive.
Forceful players, your pairings have been posted. Please find your name and find your seats so we can begin the round. Once again, forceful players, your
here's the
pairings
first
have been
attack.
posted.
Mecha
Please
Frieza,
find your name and find your
15,000
seats so we
double
can begin
striker
the round.
into 15,000. Gonna go to the door, draw a card, survive that attack. Here comes another one.
Attention, Pokemon players.
MacGyver gonna pitch an Division Frieza.
Pokemon players.
Sacked already too by Michael here. See what he draws. If he gets another threat, looks like he drew a Crusher. Oh, cool Bloodlust. Make sure he gets the right energy here. Tapping 4 energy to play out another. Oh, this is actually the one that looks at your hands here. This is the other Mecha Frieza, the one that looks at your hand. You can choose one. And Michael takes that game. Awesome. That was an awesome match there at the end, guys. Oh, I love it. I love those matches. I love it. Like, it's just so cool to see 2 leaders that are essentially the same leader, right? You have 2 Friezas, but they play so drastically different. Even though they kind of are trying to do the same thing. They have a lot of the same cards, but the way they play their cards are so different. So they play the same cards differently, which is super, super cool. It's actually one of my favorite things about this game. It's just that they can, the way the leaders change the archetypes of this game, you know? So, you know, in other games, you know, you might see a leader or you might see something, and essentially they're just kind of default. They're usually the stat stick, so they do some cute little ability. But in Dragon Ball Super, these leaders just literally change the way the game is played. You know, you have Cooler, you have Chills, you know, they play the game so much differently than the other leaders. And it's just such a cool way to do it. I love it. I love seeing it. Hey guys, I'm gonna pop you guys over to the caster desk while I fix the overlays real quick. Again, guys, if you have any questions, remember at ARG Live, I'll try my best to answer as many of them as I can going into the next round. Again, we're gonna be a little late because again, we started the stream a little bit late, so I'm gonna be a little, I won't have as much time to talk after this round, but I will have a lot more time going into the other rounds because I'll actually be able to start those on time, which is 100% my fault. Again, I'm gonna fix these overlays real quick, guys. And get everything ready. These players are anxious to get started. They're already mulligan. So, getting back in there. It looks like everything is back up. Gonna fix this score. And we'll be ready to go. Sorry guys, in my sideboarding overlay, for some reason it's not working. So, okay guys, I'm gonna pop it over to the caster desk. I'm gonna back over to the game here. Let you guys stop looking at my face and actually see this game, which is a lot more interesting, for sure. All right, so it looks like MacGyver went first to play out his blue energy and pass the turn. Michael's responding with a yellow energy and a Frieza's call. Starting that chain again. Again, 1-to-1, guys. Android 16 being a very important piece of that the last game that we saw. So we'll see if Michael can get some more out again. At ARG Live, won't be able to watch live today. Checking in before my shift starts. Good luck in the long day ahead. Thank you so much
spoofer proof it. Really appreciate it, man. It really means a lot, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So it looks like Michael went and got his apple there off that attack. I mean, off that Vinci Frieza, which is a fantastic card. It puts a lot of pressure on his opponent. Again, that's what he wants to do with these early turns. It's also a great card once Frieza awakens because it's essentially free at that point. It's essentially a card that cycles and is free. So he's going to pitch. Looks like play out another Vinci Frieza. Go gets his shoe here. Very powerful card, another 15,000 attacker. These cards are very devastating for the Mecha Frieza play. He's attacking with his leader. Great. I think that's very smart move, and Michael definitely needs to do that. Again, every card he can get out of MacGyver's life is one less card he has to deal with from Mecha Frieza's ability. Anxious to see how MacGyver's going to respond here. Looks like he drew a Bulma off of that life. Playing it straight to energy, no hesitation at all for MacGyver. See what he decides to play. That's 2 blue from MacGyver. Very troubling. Looks like he's going to attack with this Frieza here. 10,000 and 10,000. See what Michael decides to do here. He could use the Vinci Frieza here as a combo piece, but honestly, he'll probably just take it and go to 7. But we'll see what he decides to do. No, he's actually just going to do it. Protect his life. That tells me if I'm MacGyver, Michael has a TN in hand. I can't see it, but that's what that tells me. So he should be expecting the TN. So I wouldn't play out too many threats one after another if I'm MacGyver. I would wait, play like 1 threat down. You know, don't want to get both your threats TN'd. All right, so we have a Frieza's armor coming down. Getting that Vinci Frieza to be able to look at the top 3 ones again. I love watching this deck play. This deck is so much fun to watch. It's just, it cycles so many cards. It thins its deck out. It's just such a fun deck. The only time it's such a smooth playing deck too. It just feels right. Like all the cards go together really well. Just such a fun deck to play and watch. So he looks like he gets, looks like he'll get another, he's gonna go Goldo here. I like that. Great play. He can use that to tap down any kind of threats that MacGyver might want to play next turn. And he also just a good energy card and a good card to play out as a blocker or to use his energy. Just a very versatile card in the deck. One of my favorite yellow cards in general. Love Goldo. So he's going to eat the Frieza here and draw his card. Gets a Gohan promo off that. Awesome. Love that card. All right, let's see what's... All right, here comes Shootout. 15,000 attacker, attacking 10,000 into 10,000. Frieza into Frieza. Going to take it, go to 6. See if he decides to attack with Sue here. I think it's... Oh, actually, he just passed turn. Because MacGyver just played an energy down. So, 10,000 and 10,000. See what Michael decides to do here. Going to just use the apple out of his hand to not take that hit. And pass turn. MacGyver looks like he's out to a slow start. He does have a yellow, though. So now he can actually Cold Bolus if he needs to. Which is very powerful. Michael getting his first green energy on the board. One more and he could play that Gohan. Attacking 10,000 and 10,000. MacGyver gave him the old thumbs up. No negates from him. Taking it, going to 5. Let's see what Michael decides to do, man. A lot of pressure. It looks like MacGyver just has a bunch of high-cost cards in hand. I can't see his hands on the table. Going to take that attack. Go to 4. Going to eat that. Looks like he ate that with no energy gain. Maybe a little bit of a misstep by Michael. Down another Goldo. 2 Goldos out. Jeez, MacGyver has a wall to get through. He's down on life. 4 to 8. No board presence. But like we saw from the last game, man, MacGyver can turn this around very quickly. He has powerful cards in this deck, so we'll see what happens. 15,000 and 10,000. Expecting Michael just to block this here. He's just going to take it. Go to 7. Going to play out of Vinci Frieza here. Look at the top 3. Pick up Frieza's army here. It whiffs. Oh, MacGyver. I'm so sorry, buddy. Man, looks like he's getting a little starved on energy. Didn't have the right energy, I don't think, when he wanted it. Then it looks like he's bricking on these Vinci Frieza. Very rough. Looks like he's attacking with the Frieza here. Gonna combo with the other Frieza. Nice. Good play. I expect Michael maybe just to take this hit, which he did, and I missed it. It looks like. So it looks like he took the hit, goes to 6. Very good. Good play by him. He takes 2 damage, gets 2 cards. He can still TN now. Now TN's not awkward, so if he does have TN in hand, he can still use it. Awaken this turn if he needs to. And, you know, like I said, not being an awkward health total. So it looks like he's just going to play that TN down to open up 2 green, 2 yellow. Looks like he might have another TN in hand. I think I saw that as the second card there. So he could, yeah, he does. So he can play it TN out. Looks like what he's going to do, he hand shuffle that to the front. He also could just play out the Android, which isn't a bad play either. Yes, he's going to play out that Android 16. Devastating card in this matchup. Let's see what he decides to do here. Play the Avenging Frieza down for 1 energy here. Looking at top 3. Whiffs. He did get a Mecha Frieza, which is a Frieza's army, but it's too expensive to actually get off the ability. So he, again, has to whiff. So, I mean, at least he kind of levels the playing field there. Michael whiffed. MacGyver whiffs. Avenging Frieza letting both players down. All right, see what Michael decides to do. Just going to cycle here. Drawing a counter off of that. Has Cold Ballast and Crusher Ball up as well. It looks like he's going to attack maybe 15,000. He could attack into the Avenging Frieza right here. If he kills it, he readies. So it wouldn't be a bad play. But it looks like he's not going to. He's just going to pass it back to MacGyver. You know, he doesn't want to take the chance. It could easily just get negated, and then it frees up that Android 16 on the following turn. So a very controlled play by Michael. He doesn't need to take the risk to try to kill that Avenging Frieza. So good play. All right, MacGyver going to draw this card. Attack 15,000 and 15,000, or sorry, 10,000.
Please find your seat, get set up.
Looks like he's just going to take it.
Make sure you have your deck list out and ready to be collected. Pokemon players, your round 1 pairings are up.
All right, MacGyver's simply just going to pass the turn now. With 5 energy up. Man. If I'm Michael here, I'm going to play around the combo card Frieza, and I'm going to play around King Cold. Those are the 2 cards I'm going to play around right now. I would be terrified of both those cards. I'm not going to be attacking with any of my big guys. I'm not going to. I probably just want to build my board up here, and then just pass turn. Don't want to get blown out by that King Cold. Mecha Frieza coming out. Looks like that's going to be a Cold Ballast by MacGyver with a small novel in his hand here. A lot of cards in hand. All right, so he's just going to kill that. Attack with the Frieza, 15,000 to 15,000. See if MacGyver uses any cards to protect this. Just going to use that Frieza we talked about. All right. Michael destroying it, eating that Frieza to ready energy. Now he's probably going to awaken and do it again. Looks like he drew another Mecha Frieza though. So he could eat one of these Goldos to ready 2 of his energy and then play out that Mecha Frieza and try to kill both threats. Wouldn't be a bad play. It's a little zealous. And it could be a little overzealous because if he does do this and it gets Cold Ballasted again, for example, you know, he's tapped out going into the next turn. So we'll see what he decides to do here. Tough decision. That's what makes this matchup so fun. Michael wishing that he had a bad ring laser in hand here. All right, so looks like he's going to play Shu here. Going to go 15,000 into the leader here. And MacGyver just going to use that Avenging Frieza to protect it. Michael using Frieza's ability on the second side. Remember, he can use that 2 turns in a row. I mean, the front side and the back side. So, ready in 2 more energy. Getting ready to see what he does with that. I expect him just to leave this 2 energy open. It looks like he does have both Crusher Ball and Cold Ballast in hand. So very possible he just leaves, passes the turn, which he does do. Looks like we have about 9 minutes left on the round, guys, but our players do have more time than that. Remember, since they do have a time extension due to the computer issue. So. All right. So we have 15,000 going into 15,000. Looks like Michael's going to use that Android 16 to block this attack. Guys, that is why Android 16 is so powerful in this matchup. Michael having tons of cards in hand he can use to buff the Android. And we'll see what he decides to do. MacGyver might just let it die. I'm sorry, Michael might just be letting it die here. We'll see. Yeah, he's just going to protect it. Get a free card. No big deal. Attacking again. Using that blocker again. Very powerful. And use a Dodora this time to draw a card and protect that 16. MacGyver is really just like making some a little bit misplaced here. He needs to get through that Android 16. He can't just let it keep killing cards for free. Very devastating to lose 2 of your big 15,000 threats in this matchup. See what MacGyver decides to do here. Going to play out. Remember, this is the freeze that lets you look at the hand, take a battle card out of it if you want. Michael's going to say, I don't want you to look at my hand. I'm going to cold ballast you. Looks like there's a dice on field. Hey, Scotch, can you go see why there's a dice on the field? Yeah. Thank you. I'm going to go see why that dice is there. I'm not 100% sure what that 3 dice is there for. All right, so here comes out Mecha Frieza. No kill potential, although he's going to use this literally just as pressure. So second 15,000 into 15,000.
Is there 2 minutes at a time? I was wrong.
Huh? They have an extension. Oh, they're 10 minutes into time. Oh, okay.
Well, the clock is 10 minutes or 11 minutes at a time. You said it's time.
Okay. So that was turns, guys. It's what happened there. So that's turn 3. That was the first turn. That's why we thought there was 9 minutes left in the round. It was actually 9 minutes into the round. So they've hit their time. So that's why Michael played out the Mecha Frieza, just to deal as much damage as you can. Like I said, just trying to close this game out. These players don't want to start off the first round with a draw, unfortunately. So we'll see what happens here. Still 4-4. Michael has the potential to end this game out. Both players do. Both have very aggressive decks. So he's going to draw a card off the 15,000 attack with Golden Frieza. 15,000 and 15,000. Looks like MacGyver's going to take that. Go to 3 life. Michael shipping the turn. Looks like that was turn 2 going into turns. I can't quite see MacGyver's hand. Looks like he might have a couple ways to try to close this game out. Very unlikely, though. We have 3 blockers on Michael's side. So, I don't think Michael can lose this game, but it's going to be a question of whether Michael can win the game. So, if I'm MacGyver here, I'm, probably going to try to play for this draw. I don't want to overextend here. I just want to make sure that I get through these blockers if I can and protect myself. Like I said, very unlikely that he could win this through an actual victory here.
Attention Pokemon players, thank you all for coming out to ARG Orlando today.
You hate to do that. You hate to play for the draw, but drawing is better than losing. So.
6 rounds of single game Swiss.
All right, MacGyver just going to pass the turn. Very smart play, like we said. He's going to leave that card open. That gives him a combo piece. We also see Sensu being, I believe, some more counters in hand as well from MacGyver. So it's very possible he could survive. Another Mecha Frieza coming down. Looks like this is going to be a cold bonus. Attack for 15,000 into 15,000. Mecha Frieza into Mecha Frieza. No combo here. Michael trying to decide how much he wants to commit to this attack. Looks like he's just going to no combo. He's going to take it. MacGyver going to go to 2.
So we can keep this tournament going.
All right, looks like that was turns. Looks like that ended the draw.
Welcome to round number 1. You have 30 minutes plus 3
turns. Looks like that ends the draw. Again, guys, you hate to see that, but again, that's what happens. It went to a game 3. Very good matchup. Both decks, very cool decks to see. Very fun to watch. Both MacGyver and Michael's deck, very, very strong. Again, I like to see that matchup because you get to see essentially, again, the same type of leader, right? You both had 2 Friezas, but you're having 2 different takes on the leader and see how they use the same cards differently. So very cool. I'll pop it over to the caster desk, guys. I want to answer your guys' questions for maybe a minute or 2. Pop it over to the wait screen, and we're going to get into round 2 here very quickly, guys. If you have any questions, remember at ARG Live in the channel. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Sorry again, guys, for the delay in the stream. We apologize. You know, had a little bit of technical difficulties, so. Yeah, guys, unfortunate we had a draw there, like I said, but it happens, guys. You know, Game 3 is very tough for a lot of these decks they play through. You know, that can happen. Seriously, yeah. That happens, guys. Again, like we said, sorry, again, we couldn't get the first game up. You know, it's a little unfortunate. But you know, like I said, we had some technical difficulty with the computer and the webcam. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and knock it over to the wait timer. We'll probably get into the next round in probably like 10 minutes or so, give or take. Again, guys, any questions, let me know. And we'll see you guys going into round 2, guys. Thank you so much for watching.